Hey, it's your boy, Sergeant Hooked on Henshin's. So today, we are finally talking about episode 1 of Avataro Sentai DonBrothers. Don brothers, don, but a going. Love the theme song. So I'm very excited about this. As far as I know, as far as it being subbed, there's a few different places that are trying to sub it. I don't know if all of them are going to keep subbing all of it. But I'm happy to know there's still some groups that are still willing to do it on the DL, clearly. Yeah. So, very excited about this series. It was a very, I'll just kind of real quick, and then we'll get into some details, is a very unique premiere, a very exciting premiere, lots of questions asked, a few answers given, and just a really generally good start, I think. Especially with Inoue being back after the last time he wrote was for Jetman, I'm pretty sure. So, anyway, so the episode starts up with Haruka. She will be the Yellow Ranger, Oni's sister. She's 17, she's a high school student, and she's a manga artist / writer. She just won an award for her work, actually. And is getting it published and whatever. And comes to school, and she's not even really gloating about it. But she's been doing a bunch of interviews and stuff like that. She's kind of tired, so she has a person, like a taxi driver or somebody, bring her home. On the way there, the taxi driver turns into the monster of the week for the series, which are called Hitotsuni, which are like kind of like their base form or just what they're all called. But usually what we're going to see is each one of these every week is a monster of the week based on a Sentai, basically. So yeah, so I think that's really interesting. That's what we're getting. So it attacks her, and she's actually saved by Sonoi, who is part of this group called Brain Persons. And he has his own little, like, wrist, little armlet thing, and he swipes past it in this digital effect with its own little, like, standby loop plays, and he transforms in his purple transformed state. He destroys the monster. He keeps her safe, actually. Kind of cool. He does this, like, running up the monster thing, flips around, kicks it against a car, and then, like, slashes it as he comes down right in half. He's apparently obsessed with art and, like, being, like, classy and, like, you know, that kind of a thing. So it looks like, yeah, remember, yeah, I got like some characters up here. Obsessed with art, loathes, and he loathes greedy humans. It's weird because all the Brain Persons that will eventually meet, the three at least that we know of from that's been revealed, even though at least Sonoi he doesn't like greedy humans, he still can create Hitotsuni, so we don't know why they're creating them. They're kind of like an anti-hero thing or something. I don't know. There's got to be like some bigger picture thing going on. But anyway, so she's excited. Now she's convinced that heroes are real because of being saved by one in her eyes anyway. So she gets to school the next day and she tells everybody about what happened as far as her winning the award and everything. And there's a student, Swappy, something like that, who is jealous of her success and of her getting the award and everything. And we actually see him. He's like a ping pong, they say tennis, but it's actually ping pong is what he's playing. He's like a ping pong athlete of some kind. And you see this goofy scene of him. It would have made like more menacing if it was like any other show, but it's him like hitting a bunch of nails into his like ping pong paddle. And while he's doing that, this like spectral, you know, thing outside of him, kind of like Devil Trigger and like some of the later Devil May Cry games. It is the Hitotsuni of what this one isn't. This seems like it's like a base form, and then what we see again eventually later is a Rhea Soldier one. But anyway, so we see that. And so he goes, while the plot's going of the episode, you see glimpses of him going around and finding people with ping pong skills and challenging them and kicking their ass, basically, both in beating them in the game and also physically. So she is playing slots on her phone, and she wins, and the prize comes out of her phone as the yellow glasses. So these glasses, I don't know if we've gotten a name for them yet, but they seem to be how they're able to see the virtual world out there that they usually fight in, at least where the mecha fights happen and stuff like that. So she's seeing the overlay of everything around her. It kind of scares her a little bit, and she's also noticing that certain humans are disguising themselves as Anoni. That's what they're called, Anoni, which are the foot soldiers for the season. Very cool, very like paint splattery kind of look to them. They're very interesting. And so it's kind of funny because you're seeing the foot soldiers with like normal human clothes on, but they start figuring out, seeing that she can see them, figure like she knows something. And so a whole mob starts chasing her, and then out of nowhere her down blaster and her gear appears in front of her points up and she goes, huh? And it shoots the sky and hits the little like door that opens and transforms her. So she fends them off as best she can. She's like, wow, what's happening? Doesn't really understand. We also get Momoi Taro. The first few seconds of this episode starts with him coming to this world in a little peach capsule, and his father, his adoptive father, finding him. So we have Momoi Taro. He's a courier, and he meets a guy who he's delivering a package to, and apparently is really grumpy because he's not gotten a lot of sleep because he's been studying all night and trying multiple times and failing the bar exam to become a lawyer. And he's like, oh, it's okay, you can do it. And he's like, no, I can't. I'm a failure, and blah, blah, blah. And he falls asleep again, the guy. And Taro stays there and cleans his whole house and, like, helps him with some studying stuff of some kind. But then he also, like, makes a little sign that's, like, the symbol or kanji for victory and gives it to him. And he's like, wow, I feel like I can do it. And he's like, are you sure you're just a courier? He's like, oh, I'm not just a courier. I'm a bringer of good fortune. So I think it's kind of interesting. I don't know a ton about the Momotaro's like fairy tale. I probably should look up more about it to maybe pick up on some things they might try to pull in for the show. But I do like Taro. He definitely is. It's weird because when he's transformed, when he's Avataro changed, if you will, he's a lot more of like what some might say the like not fiery, kind of like crackhead red, or just like over the top type of red. Whereas when he's not transformed, he's very much more chill, which is weird. We also see the cafe that Haruko was at when she got her glasses and started her whole journey and everything. For one, it's the same set as Colorful from Zenkaiger. And on top of it, it's also the same, there's a Kaito's there. But it's a different Kaito. He's known as Zenkaiser. We know that he's known as Zenkaiser Black. He's very, like, very observant, very, like, reserved, mysterious, and a lot about him. Very interesting with that. I have some theories. So anyway, Haruka is hit with a plagiarism claim, and everybody turns on her. Her boyfriend leaves her, which, keep him in mind. I think it might come back. Maybe be the 6th. I don't know. I want there to be a 6th. The 6th to be a woman. I think it'd be cool, a girl. But everybody's against her, and they're, like, pissed at her, so she leaves embarrassed. And she puts on the glasses again. She just wants to get away from everything. And she ends up in this virtual prison with this guy named Jin, who says he's Taro's dad. And that you need to find Momoi Taro, or Momoi Taro. She doesn't say Momoi Taro. That would have given it away for her. But he says you need to find Momoi Taro and swear fealty to him. It'll all come clear. You have been chosen with 3 others to be the 4 warriors that follow him. And so she tries to figure it out. And she, like... There's a couple scenes of her trying to ask a bunch of people. At one point, she's asking somebody as Momoi Taro goes behind her. Which I think, if it's like, I get confused with the names of people only of how, like, what's their first name, because in Japanese, I think the first name that you see when their name is listed is actually their last name, and the name after that is their first name. Like Hiden Arato. So I think Momoi Taro is his first name. So, but yeah, Taro goes behind her. It's kind of funny. But the one student who was all jealous became a monster. He's fully transformed. He's, out there destroying things, messing with people, whatever. The henchmen are doing stuff. And so she transforms again. And then she actually, Senoi comes up and she's like, you're here. And because she has a theory that he must be Momoi Taro. He goes, I swear fealty. And he, like, kicks her as hard as he can, like, away from him. She's okay. It was just funny to watch. It was more comical than anything. But so clearly it's not him. That's not who she's looking for. And it's weird because when he comes into it, the soldiers seem to go and, like, completely stop and just watch, which is really weird. So he ends up destroying that monster, which is weird because this time we see it, like, first time it was a person as well. But it seems to make it pretty clear that once they become a monster like this, that they are killed once they're destroyed in their monster form. So, because she mentioned that, like, where did he go? And he doesn't answer her. But he sees another student, which is actually one of the ones that this other student, the monster student, attacked, and sees how much he's, like, holding on his medal for being, like, a ping pong champion or something, and transforms him into a Ryo soldier based Hitotsu Oni. It looks kind of like, has, like, bits of Kishiryuo in it, which is kind of cool. So same time as this, we get Tsuyoshi Kijino, that's Kiji brother, the first male Pink Ranger. He is, okay, some information on him right here. First male Pink, I have on here, he's a wife simp, and that's kind of true. He's described as apparently, super supportive of his wife to the point where he's put his own dreams aside to make her dreams come true. So I kind of like that. I like that he has that kind of a thing, and haven't really seen that a whole lot, a married member on the team like this before. So he comes in, he has pink glasses, oh, that must be him. And Shuji tries to him, and he's like, aren't you one of the other warriors? And he holds up a Dawn Blaster. He has the Kiji brother, thing, and he puts it in, Avataro change. Puts his glasses up, and he, Don Broco. And as it says that, the standby jingle, these like watercolory paint like picture waves come by and like are hitting the legs of the what's it called, foot soldiers, the Anoni, and they're like, huh, what? And then all of a sudden it goes to the sequence. So he's the first one to get a transformation sequence. It's kind of cool. First one to get a solar morph, kind of cool. And he points the gun up, shoots it, and it looks like DNA almost. Hits a little trapdoor, opens, and his power falls on him. Kiji brother. It says it actually has a different jingle, I think, for each person. So his is like Toriki, which is saying tricky. Toriki, Torin, Kiji brother. It's really cool. So I really like him. I like him being a pink male, and just in general, he's got a cool suit. I like him. So anyway, he transforms. He helps to fight for a little bit. Then comes in, of course, Momoi Taro. The CG for him isn't great. I'm going to be honest with you. It's something that I think I'm just going to get over. I was never bothered with it from the reveal of it. And plus there's a few shots of him up close that clearly they do have some kind of physical suit. So I think there's going to be parts here and there where they're not going to have to rely on it all the time, especially because most of their CG has gone to the mecha fights, and we'll talk about that in a second. So anyway, he does his thing. He helps to fight a little bit. They still get their butt kicked a little. Momoi Taro comes in, beats some of the grunts up, knocks them away. Sonoi runs off and fights the monster, the Ryu soldier, Hitatsuni, and ends up using the Zen Glass Slasher, and puts his gear to it, and it has a all special attack with that as well. I didn't buy that. I only bought the Dawn Blaster pack that comes with the Dawn Blaster, Momotaro's gear, and the Zenkaiser Avataro gear. That's it. So I'm not going to go too ham on stuff for this unless I really want something out of it that really blows me away. So anyway, for the merchandise, DX stuff. Destroys the monster, but of course it becomes big. So they go to the virtual space, the digital world, if you want to. And as he goes by, though, he finds Zenkaiser Black. And he gives him, at one point he's fighting, and he uses Zenkaiser's Avataro gear, and that transforms him into what they're going to do for the whole shtick for the season, where it's like Gokaiger, where they can kind of become past Rangers. They just still have the belt on them, So just fighting him is a little bit, basically fighting as him for a little bit, basically just shoots the Dawn Blaster like Zenkaiser, doesn't really do a ton. But Zenkaiser also pulls out a Juron gear and puts it in, summons a Juron Tyranno, and it comes up and it combines with Enradion, which I don't get the name of, I don't think. Maybe it says it. And Don Zankaio is born, of course, like normal. It fights the monster, destroys it. Really cool fight scene. The CG for the mecha fights is top-notch. I wish that they were doing well enough that some of the funds they had for the CG of the mecha fights were going also to their two team members that are going to be CG for the most part. Defeats the monster, and of course he leaves before she can see who he is, and she's like, wait, was that Taro? No, there's no way. And she's left at the end of the episode finding out there's a bunch of people that have that name. There's an old man she meets, a dog. She's just having trouble. So as a first episode, I think it was really strong. I think we get a really good sense of who she is as a character, Haruka, Oni's sister, and Taro to an extent, which I thought was cool that we started kind of with him, but then switched to mainly focusing on Haruka and how she's seeing everything as a framing device. I think that was really strong. Really something that I haven't seen a whole lot. Usually the Reds are the focus of most of the first episodes, or the leaders are, and they build the team from there, or they already have a team or whatever. So yeah, it was really cool to see that from her perspective. I like that she's a manga artist, she's the youngest member on the team, and they're all so different, with Kiji brother being, wife simp extraordinaire, and Haruka being a high school student, a manga artist. Inu brother, little dog, cat, ranger, is supposed to be like a criminal with some kind of past or something like that. So really interesting what we're getting here for the Rangers. Are very unique, and that Sentai usually does a decent job of that. Overall, really strong premiere. I really liked it. I thought the characters were really great. I think that they did a good job to give us a good first episode and kind of drop us into this new world. There is questions posed and questions answered, but more questions have arose, of course, as the series progresses. The CG is not amazing with Kiji Brother or really Inu Brother from what I've seen, and like previews for next episode and stuff. But it's not the worst, and I think people should still give it a chance. I mean, CG's never been god tier in Toku, so I don't really understand why people are mad when it looks a little rough, you know what I mean? So, anyway, I guess it's just more about people not being used to the fact there being two members of the team that are going to be mostly CG for most of the time. But anyway, let me guys know what you guys think of the episode. Did you guys enjoy today's episode? Did you guys like DonBrothers episode 1? Did you not like it? How did you feel about it? Let me know in the comments below. Pretty soon we're going to be moving, fingers crossed, this weekend. At the time of recording this is a Wednesday or Thursday. And this weekend we're going to be moving, so I should be able to get back into some content next week, but we're also going to be settling and, you know, setting things up and whatnot. So if I don't right away, I will do some catch-up reviews. I might even do some short ones on TikTok or something like that. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below of the episode. Did you guys like it? Did you hate it? What was your favorite part of it? Do you have a favorite character yet so far? Coming up soon, I'm hoping to do, I still have to redo my video for Supermassive, which is the crossover between Infernal Girl Red, Rogue Sun, and Radiant Black for those comics. Also do my Rogue Sun 1 review, so there's that. And then besides that, I still want to do a video on my final thoughts and review on Zenkaiger. And then my Dragon Knight video. So I do have a few videos lined up, and the stuff I want to do for Toku Toy Views, I haven't received yet. So once I receive that stuff, then I will find time to unbox it and record and talk about it and all that. So anyway, thank you guys so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for following on Twitter. I'm here on YouTube. Thank you for watching the videos, liking, disliking, commenting. It all means so much to me. I love you guys so much. But until next time, I'll talk to you later. Stay hooked on Henshins. Bye-bye.